Hey everybody, I'm GalicEnder, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know I love to play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I stream it constantly, I've analyzed it in certain videos in the past, and of course, I drop stream highlights of me playing with my friends. But a question popped into my head the other day. In the eyes of someone who actually plays this game competitively, how good am I? I do practice often in my spare time, and I've logged over 2,500 hours into the game, so I decided to book a coaching session with someone who plays competitively to try and learn some new things and see where I stand skill-wise. Now, obviously I wasn't just going to go on Fiverr and pick some random people and hope for the best. I wanted to do a little research in my coach before I spent the money. I wanted to make sure that what I spent was going towards what I wanted. So after doing a little research, I decided to go with Chippy for my first lesson. Chippy is an upcoming streamer slash Super Smash Bros. Player who often plays with Mars, a top 5 player, and has run first to 10 sets with other pros including MKLeo, the current best player in the world.
Hell Wheel, baby! Best move in the game against the best player in the world!
You'll love to see it!
He's also analyzed competitive sets with Leo and Tweak, and has learned some of the thought processes behind these professional players. Not to mention, compared to other coaches, his price on Metafy was more affordable than the other coaches. Now, not knocking the other coaches, it's just for someone who's looking for a first-time experience with a Smash coach, this was very reasonable. Now, being that I've never done this before, I did have some doubts going in. Would this be a waste of my time? Though Chippy is an entertaining content creator, is he a good coach? Would I actually learn anything, or be just the same before I walked in? Am I already too good? Now, I've never fought Chippy before in Smash, and it's not uncommon for top players to lose online, and I don't know where I stand skill-wise. All I've had really is just matches with my friends and people that I fought online. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and answer this question. Yeah, I got my casual ass stomped, which is good. That's what I was looking for. But, oh my god, there was some games during that session where he absolutely wiped the floor with me. So, GG's, Chippy. But if you were holding back, run it back. How dare you? I can take it. And of course, there was the incident with a question that I had before we started the match. So, when I booked the session, before the match, I messaged Chippy through the service Metafy. Hey Chippy, I'm a big fan, and I'm looking forward to the lesson. Let me know if there's anything I can do in advance to make the process smoother. To which he responded days later, hey, if you want to find a VOD that we can review or something of that nature, then that would make things a bit easier. Otherwise, just be ready for a Discord call. And then I responded, a VOD of me playing or some pros playing? And I didn't really get a response after that. Now, I don't really know Chippy personally, and I have no idea what his life is like, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt and assumed that he was busy with his personal life, and I was thankful for the response I got. I mean, it was better than nothing. How I addressed when he asked for the VOD, I just gave him both. I messaged my buddy Jara, and we recorded a set, and I picked the VOD of Leo vs Prodigy to learn more about Joker's disadvantaged state and how to get around it. Now, keep in mind this is pure constructive criticism. I'm not knocking Chippy at all. He was really kind to me and he was a great guy when we did our session. Also, he's pretty new to coaching. During our session, he did tell me I was his second customer since he started giving lessons. Now, moving on. Luckily for Chippy, I had the equipment and some form of competitive knowledge to provide what was needed for the session. But for others, with a vague response like that, it could confuse them and waste time during the lesson because you're prepping for too long or have no idea where to start because the client does not know what they need to do. And being someone who has worked in sales and assisted in marketing projects for companies, clear communication and being prepared when marketing yourself for a service is essential. Now, not to brag too much, but I believe I was the best case scenario for Chippy. I had the equipment to provide a VOD of me, knew the pro I wanted to analyze, a wired adapter for my Switch with a good internet connection, and I played a character that he was familiar with. So, in this perfect scenario where all the materials are provided and a clear message was sent about what I wanted from this session, how did it all go? Well, luckily for you, Chippy was kind enough to let me record the session and show it to you guys. We analyzed the VOD I recorded with Jara, and we played some games afterwards. And I'm going to show you a bit of both. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have my OBS set up right from when we did the VOD analyzation, and our audio was muted. Fuck. But when we did play our games, the audio was fine, so at least we have that. So what I'm going to do for the VOD analyzation part of it, I'm just going to show you the VOD and the most memorable parts that Chippy told me during that analyzation. I'll do my best to reiterate what he said, but obviously it's going to come better from the source. So Chippy, if you are watching, you are more than welcome to that VOD and to take it and analyze it again for your channel or whatever you want to do with it, and just explain to the people what you told me to just give them a better idea of what you had. But again, I'll do my best. Okay, so this is the VOD that Chippy and I analyzed during our session. Unfortunately, I didn't have my OBS set up right, and all our audio was muted, so that was just a bad on my part. I'll show you guys the most memorable parts of the VOD that we went over, and try to explain what he told me. So the first thing we really went over was this part right at the beginning. So we started off, I got a little confident, tried to fake him out with this jump here, and then really relied on this dash attack. Now luckily he let go of his shield, so I was able to land it, but then I was able to space him using this AHA and a bullet. Now, this is where I messed up. You see, I was able to keep him at bay using the AHA and the gun, and I could have kept applying pressure from this distance, but I decided to close the gap and jump up, and Jara was safely beneath the platform. I gave up my advantage state simply by charging in and trying to get around him, rather than just keeping him at bay with my projectiles. Because when I'm going above this platform, that puts me in a more open state for Jara to attack, because there's nothing I can do if he is sitting here beneath the platform. So when I go up, just completely opens it up, and I just take a lot of unnecessary percent here. He was very clear on like what I could have done to prevent that, and just trying to keep Jara at bay using my projectiles until he gets out from underneath the platform and it's more safe to approach. Because when you have a platform, there's a lot of ways you can play advantage state with it. You basically just have a free shield above you at all times. Like, there's no way for me to down gun, there's no way for me to do a landing aerial on him without this platform getting in the way, and it's able to provide him more like reactions to what I do. Okay, it was right here. I was able to get Jara way up in the air using Aegon, and I was able to close in that gap with the Arsene up air right there, and he actually complimented me on that. He said I reacted well, I was able to close the gap, put my foot on the gas, and be able to get the punish without Jara having time to react. But now there's a lot of space between him and I, and what I decided to do was jump up, and I baited the option. While that did work out in my favor to where I didn't get hit, what I could have done, my reaction to this bait could have been a lot better. I knew he was going to use an aggressive option by attacking with the down air, but instead of sticking around and shielding and punishing it, I ran off and then tried to go in for a grab. So just being more aware of what I'm trying to do to my opponent and just executing my punishes better is what he was really emphasizing on. Because as you can see, one more time, I was able to get this gap, I baited out his option, but boom, I ran away instead of knowing where he was going to go and of course punishing the option. Now those were the two most memorable things. So the more basic things he told me, like, you know, just in general, at the end of watching the VOD, was just be more reliant on Joker's back air when edge guarding. He also said just be more confident in my edge guarding. He noticed that Jara loved to punish me off stage with Corrin up B, and if I was aware of that, I could bait it out and then punish him with an Arsene back air. And he also explained some more situations on when's a better time to use gun, up gun, down gun, try to get those gimps that, of course, Joker players love to get with that sweet little object right here. Yep, I wasn't faithful enough in my... If I would have just been more faithful in my back air, I would have gotten that punish, and Jara probably wouldn't have made it back. The VOD analyzation was very good. He was very insightful. He opened up my eyes to like a lot of situations I never thought about before. I really wish I had the audio to show you guys, because obviously he would have explained it so much better than I did right there. During our VOD analyzation, that was the most memorable parts to me, and I'm really grateful for that. So let's get on to the games.
I am probably... Do you want me to start off with Joker or with Inkling? Because I think I can iron out habits and press that stuff a bit better with Inkling than I can Joker. But I'm also fine doing the Joker Ditto if you want to do that too.
I suck at the Joker. Just hit me with it. All right.
I'm not a fan of the Joker Ditto either, personally.
Yeah.
Because how I feel the pacing goes is whoever loses more wins.
Exactly.
Quicker.
Oh my god.
But then it really just comes down to how...
I get so much crap like, oh, it's not that bad. It's like, dude, it's basically if you lose, you win. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's a little painful in that regard. It just comes down to learning how to play against Arsene and that kind of stuff. All right, we'll do 2-3 games of Joker Ditto, and then I'll branch into Inkling and we'll work from there. All right, let's get right into it.
Getting learned using a schoolboy skin.
I always feel like my hitboxes are smaller when I use that skin, so I try not to use it. I feel like it's just cursed for me, though.
I love this skin. Okay, what the... Oh.
Sounds good. Really, really good, but you didn't jump afterwards.
Yeah, I fast fell. God.
Do you also feel free to save these if like the games if you feel like looking them over would be beneficial later on.
It's all being recorded, man.
Oh, true. Actually, you're right. You're 100% right. Do you see what I kind of mean though? On the last stock, I kind of did it where I jumped out, then jumped back to lead or back to stage, and you kind of early upbeat to try and catch me going low to catch you.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a big sentence, but essentially just like you don't have to commit to going off stage. Even just faking that you're gonna commit can give you a lot of information on how your opponent deals with your pressure before you actually exert it, if that makes sense.
Right. Great minds think alike.
Nice handshake there. Nice.
Oh my god, that was sick.
Thank you. Oh wow.
I could do that.
Oh, that? I was just gonna knew you were gonna run off the platform and rather than drop through.
Yeah, I didn't ever tried that before.
Obviously a little better to go for like an up smash or up tilt in those situations, but at this percent, I get more follow-ups, so.
Okay, have an Arsene on me.
Hell wheel, baby!
Come on!
Up gun. You try to hit me. It's just that situation right there just kind of came from me putting you in disadvantage and just kind of like shadowing you and empty hopping to make you feel like I was gonna commit, but I didn't really have intentions to commit. Like I just waited for your counter and just punished accordingly with back air.
Yeah, it's like as soon as I did that counter, I'm like, yeah, I deserve what's coming.
Yeah, you can kind of do the you can kind of go for that kind of stuff a bit more when you're in the driver's seat, when you have like a percent advantage or a stock advantage. You can kind of play that lead a lot more passively rather than trying to force your way in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what I'm doing now, and it's a lot of why I'm sealing stocks and then just kind of not dying for a while, because I just go from like sealing a stock to okay, I just need to play around your options that could lead into kill, their kill options, etc. So I'm just playing a lot more around those. Be careful jumping out of hit stun a lot. I feel like that's a common habit that a lot of players have, but you're kind of doing it a bit. And if I catch you jumping out of hit stun, then I keep you a disadvantage without a jump, and that's a really bad spot to be in. Nice, good read.
Son, why? we had a thing going.
Mine now. My man now.
Sup, bro?
Oh. I thought you were gonna still keep shooting. Don't
Nope.
you shimmy on me. Okay, you got lucky.
Nice. That was good.
Come on.
Rising back there. There you go.
No, no, no! That was mine! No!
I rocked the game a little bit.
Oh! Damn
That
it!
was good though.
Oh,
You
that
had
was
some good
so
reads
good.
there too.
That was so good.
You see what I mean though? The second you started throwing out the rising back air, I started to have to play a lot more patient when you had stage control. Is a big thing. Because, well, not just rising, but like landing too, because you can just do rising after that.
This is
All right,
super exciting to me, dude. I haven't fought like a player this good in so long.
You'll be able to play plenty of them in Florida once quarantine's over. Trust me, Florida's a really good scene.
I got my heart racing, man.
All right, I'll play one more Joker and then I'll do a couple Inkling ones.
Sounds good.
Hell wheel, baby! Oh no, I forgot to jump.
Happens to the best of us. Okay, what?
Yeah, landing up air can do up tilt.
That's
Really
crazy.
Yeah, low percent is very useful. And it's a very easy input too, because it's just C-stick to C-stick, same direction.
Let's go. Let's no. Okay. No,
I'm dead.
Okay, don't
You
screw it
almost
up.
whipped it. You
Oh,
almost
yeah.
whipped it.
Nope. As soon as I went off stage, like, you know what? No. No need to style. Take your win.
Dead. Damn.
Let's go.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, you're definitely starting to get it a bit more. You're starting to understand putting yourself in better situations. All right. I'll switch over to Inkling, and we'll run. Probably have time for a best of 5, I'd assume. Yeah, 758. We have at least 10. So we can just call it a best of 5.
I'm down. By the way, amazing Inkling skin. That's the best one.
Thank you. Purple's my favorite color, so
Same.
and it's one of the few Inkling colors that do not look atrocious when I paint somebody, so it was a win-win.
I think the pink one's alright, but purple's definitely the best one because purple's my favorite color as well. But
Yeah, I love purple and green. The green skin's pretty good though. I use it sometimes.
I'm just not a big fan of the male Inkling.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, Inkling is like that. Trade. The infamous S-drift. I'll teach you about that in a little bit.
The S. There's a question I want to.
Calls it. You want?
There's a like. Did you know about like the Joker gun slide thing? Like when you do a short hop gun and he just does like this crazy slide. I just discovered that the other night. I'm like, that's broken. Because you can like instant act out of it with a down tilt or a grab, even an F tilt if you wanted to.
It's a very, very good option. Offline, jump double gun is very, very good. For that purpose, specifically. Online, it's a little harder to do consistently, but...
And of course, just like on quick play, I lose stocks to roller all 3 times.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if you know that they're fishing for roller or you're at high percent, my advice is to just shield it, because once it hits your shield, you can drop shield and not be hit by it for like a full second. Like you have a lot of time to be able to get, like do like an up smash out of shield. Like you can just do like any out of shield option after it hits your shield. You don't have to just drop shield then do something. But it's like they have 2 ways to cancel it: jump or regularly, and up smash covers both. So you just do out of shield up smash. So what I was talking about with the S drift is, it's something a lot of good players will do, is where they drift in one way to make you think that they're gonna like cross you up or something. Like when I was like kind of hovering above you there, it looked like I was gonna cross you up, so you covered behind you with a grab, and then I immediately went the other way before I was about to land, and then I did my roller. So you grab the other way, and I'm just kind of, I get free punish, whether it be back air, whether it be roller. Joker can do that a little bit too to get forward air 1, to make it look like you're gonna back air them, then you just go over them and forward air them, or stuff like that. Pretty useful. Just not always drifting in or always drifting out, if that makes sense.
Wait, what?
That was a little weird. I thought you would have to tech, but it didn't make
I did tech, but I guess it didn't register. There we go.
Nice follow-up. Holy shit. I never understand when I'm supposed to follow up with smash attacks versus when I should follow up with the up air in that situation.
I learned that one from watching Leo. The first hit of fair will drag down, so I try to go off the platform and hit it if I know they're gonna jump or just like take the chance. So if I intentionally know that's what I'm going for, then that's how I follow up.
That makes sense. Oh, you're teaching me a bit. I just didn't know how to make it consistent.
You just gotta think about it. Like, I tried to do it again there, but it didn't work.
Nice. You could have shielded first, but that was good timing. Nice. See, back air hard to approach, dude. Nice. Good shit, good shit. Little thing about roller, too, I can't cancel until I move 5 meters. So if you see me commit to it off stage, you can go out deep to try and hit me.
Measurement's hard. Too many numbers.
About half a second to a second.
Okay, that works. I need to learn how to tech roll. That was close.
All right, we got time for one more game. But I think you're learning a lot when to pull the trigger versus not pull the trigger. It takes a bit of time to feel out, but I think you're already starting to feel it out quite a bit. You're starting to do a bit better with passive stuff. I would just say try to play a bit more, not specifically this game, I'm talking after the lesson too. Try to play a bit more off stage, like try to experiment in friendlies and stuff. Go a bit deeper off stage and stuff like that, and just kind of test your limits, test how far you can go out for certain characters, how far you should go out before you get traded, little stuff like that. Because I feel like there's times where you could go a little deeper off stage, but you're kind of afraid to, which is fine, that's reasonable. But friendlies and stuff like that are the yeah, no, trust me. And then versus those people, you can go out deep and then fake it out and then recover before them, and then you punish accordingly there. Almost. But yeah, I couldn't cancel that whole time though, so smart. Alright, take the head in there. The S drift.
God, the ink messed me up.
Oh, that too, yeah.
It's like I can't move. that was clean.
Thank you.
Okay, nice misinput me.
No more SN. Here I come. Again, you can just kind of stay grounded and shield versus roller. If it's the main way I'm getting killed, it's just best to just shield and make me respect, make me get grabbed so that you respect not holding shield, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Like I have to kind of work towards you.
Okay.
Doing that.
There goes my RSN and a bunch of percent. That was all super clean. Oh my god.
Thank you. Yeah, that's just Inkling in a nutshell. Rollers at low percent is what I kind of specialize in with this character. Those conversions are
I can tell.
pretty crazy. Smart. You see, you kind of let up pressure though with the up smash there though. Just going for another up air or just waiting for me to do something can
That's
be really
something I need
good.
to practice.
Yeah.
Like doing it more than once is where my hands start to flub up a little bit. So that's just
That makes
practice.
sense.
Yeah.
It's also the just presence of mind to just kind of let go on the gas and see if I pick a panic option. Like that's kind of that there, not to segue like that.
No.
That right there was kind of just me like rolling, sitting at ledge shielding and seeing if you chose like an option that I could punish with like roller, with up smash, or a kill throw.
I got
Little stuff like that.
I was absolutely downloaded.
Not really. So this matchup's actually winning for Inkling, believe it or not. And
Really?
Inkling with a stock lead is a lot better of a character than Inkling without one. So that's
Okay.
the main attributing factor. I play stock leads really, really well because I play Inkling.
Mhm.
But yeah, geez,
So-
I didn't even write down. But good thing you recorded, because the thing you said recorded, I was like, all right, I'm gonna talk. So you wanted to say something really quick? Or-
Just I really appreciate just all that you taught. This was fun. I got a couple questions.
For
How
sure.
did you think I was as a player, like overall? Because I've never like placed myself.
I think you're pretty good as a player overall. I'd say you're just a solid mid-level player, honestly. Like I group myself, I group like players like yourself. I group any like unranked player that doesn't have like any sort of like crazy like breakout result is just kind of mid-level. I think you're in that range too.
That's fair.
I think it really just because that range is like, sure, there's mid-levels that are better than others, but you don't really have a significant breakout and you don't really have a consistent performance. Like me and you could go to a tournament and I would mostly place like above you, I would assume. But there is going to be tournaments where like I bust her out, or tournaments where you do really well and you beat X and Y player. Like I'd say you're confidently mid-level. I think and on top of that, I think you play a lot more off of fundamentals. You don't really try to hyper focus on like one gimmick or anything like that, which is really, really good for improvement overall, just because you're focusing on the big picture rather than just one little aspect of gameplay. And yeah,
Right.
I think when we first started to play and when I first started to watch your VODs, you were a bit passive. Or not passive, you were a bit like antsy to like kind of get the hits sometimes when I watched the VOD especially. But as things went on, especially when we were playing, you started to play a bit more passively. Not passive in the terms of camping, that's where a lot of people get confused. You didn't though. You got passive in the regards of I can use this ambiguous pressure like EHAs, like guns and stuff like that to actually like make my other moves work more because you think I'm going to projectile, which is the right mindset to get into. That's the good way to think about it.
Okay.
You want to use your projectiles to make them want to make a move that's a bit antsy, that's a bit over aggressive, that you can capitalize on by hitting them with back air, with neutral air, stuff like that. And I think you started to do really, really well with that towards the end. Regarding things I think you should work on, obviously we mentioned the going off stage a bit. That really just comes down to just kind of going balls to the walls with it, seeing how far you can go and still recover with and without Arsene. That doesn't really have to be a training room thing, more as it could be like a next time you play with your friend, just say to yourself like, I'm gonna try really, really hard to focus on edge guards, or I'm gonna try really, really hard to focus on ledge trapping and just staying at ledge and trying to make sure he stays there as long as possible, kind of thing. That's kind of how it can work out. You don't really have to like lab that kind of stuff. It's just more of a focus on if you die, you die kind of thing. Like in game, obviously. Like if you SD, you SD. Like it is what it is. Like the bigger picture is you're learning how far you can go off stage, and to the people who don't practice that, you're gonna be getting stocks from them just because they don't understand how far you can go. They've never put themselves in that situation, and it will just make you a lot better off.
Okay.
Are there any other questions that you kind of had? Any sort of
Just one more, and then the statement. So with this recording, are you cool with me like just editing it and posting it to my channel? Like, because I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's completely fine with me.
Yeah.
All I ask you to do is just link my Twitter or not my Twitter. I don't care about Twitter.
Yeah, I'll link all your stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
Twitch, YouTube. That's all I ask. You can AdSense that if you want. You can upload it. You can edit everything.
I'm not monetized. This is just a labor of love at this point. But,
that's fair. That
one day maybe.
it takes a lot of time, but for sure. Like I think anyone can become a content creator with the right amount of effort. But yeah, completely fine for you to upload it and all that stuff. Completely cool.
And just something for you, like I mainly did this because I've never been like given an outside opinion, outside of my friend group and like some people I've talked to. And I know like you've played with the pros like way often. So like seeing how affordable you were and how much insight you had just from like the 5 minutes we analyzed on the first game, it was very insightful. So yeah, I was way beyond satisfied with this, so thank you for that.
Of course, no problem. Seriously, it's very flattering that people think that about the lessons. I try to put a lower price point just because, there's tons of really good players. But at the same time, like, I want to be compensated, but I don't want to be compensated as high as, like, all these, like, top level players. I'm happy that you found it well worth the money, if I guess that's a good way to put it.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm really, really happy. Like, that makes me really happy to hear, because most of, like, the 2 lessons that you're my second, but the 2 lessons I've had so far is that's kind of been the reception.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
good games.
seriously,
Good luck with your sponsor conversation.
Yeah, good games for sure. If you ever do decide to do some sort of follow-up lesson or anything like that, I'm all ears to that kind of stuff. Follow-ups can be pretty helpful, but albeit like not required. But if you ever do a follow-up, just again going forward, like any sort of like recent VODs, stuff like that. Yeah. We can discuss like your progress on these certain kind of aspects, like your punish game off stage, like stuff like that. We can just kind of talk about how that process went with you, like what you learned versus what you were kind of confused about.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do this again. Definitely. All right, man. I'll stop taking your time. Good luck.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me as a lesson. And yeah, best of luck with improvement, man. If you end up going to a tournament, like a Wi-Fi bracket or something, definitely make sure that you like record that so that we have those VODs for next time if you do decide to reboot. And yeah, thanks again for your time. I appreciate it a lot. And have a great rest of your day.
All right. You too, man. See ya.
Later.
And that was the Chippy coaching experience. What did I think about it overall? Honestly, I had a blast. Chippy was very insightful during the VOD analyzation. He taught me how to approach certain situations more effectively, saw some things that I can improve in my gameplay that I thought I was already pretty decent at, and had me see certain situations from a different perspective that I could apply when playing against other people. During our matches, it felt really different compared to what I usually play against. It was like, you know how you watch those competitive VODs with Smash players and they look like they're playing the game super fast? That's what it was like to fight Chippy. Everything he did, I had to be faster about it. I had to react faster, I had to play faster, I had to execute certain moves faster. It just felt faster. Like, god damn. He also taught me some new things about Joker and some different ways to punish people. Like, during our matches, he was able to snag me from the platform when I was running off it using Joker's grapple hook. He also was able to get out of one of my combos using a drag down up air at lower percents, which I had no idea we could do. Like, he was able to completely just take me out of the combo and punish me for it when I thought I already had him locked in. And of course, during the matches when he played Inkling, he was able to show me how fast we could actually execute an option before we hit the ground. Like, he was a half an inch from the goddamn ground and still somehow managed to hit me with the back air. Like, I didn't even know you could do that quickly with Inkling. But yeah, it was a great time. All in all, I was very satisfied with the coaching session and would highly recommend it to anyone looking to get better. All of Chippy's social media stuff is in the description below. His Twitter, his YouTube, his Metafy, his Twitch, it's all there, and I highly recommend that you book a session with him. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and of course, I will see you next time in one of my videos or in one of my future streams. See you later, everybody.